Welcome to Red Dead Redemption 2. Now I know some of you got some fresh new PCs for Christmas, and I know you're raring to get some RDR2 mods installed. So today we have our most in-depth guide on how to install mods for RDR2. I'll show you how to install the basic requirements, show you how to navigate to the files you need to get to, and even help you install a few mods to get you started. If you want these mods to actually work though, make sure you like and subscribe. Without that, for some reason, mods just simply don't work. So now that you're subscribed to the channel, let's get started. The first thing we're going to need to do is navigate to our RDR2 game folder. So in Steam, if you right click on the game, go down to manage, and then over to browse local files, your game root directory will pop up. You can tell that you're in the correct folder if you see this play rdr2.exe. If you don't see that .exe file, that's fine. But if you want to be able to see those file extensions, we need to press on these three dots, go down to options. We're going to go over to view, and in the menu below, you want to make sure you uncheck hide extensions for known file types. Once you've done that, go ahead and press apply and then OK. Now you'll be able to see all the .dll files and .exe files. Now the next thing we want to do is start with a fresh install. So if you've downloaded the game and haven't messed around with any of the files inside of the game directory, you should be fine. I would still, however, go down to RDR2 again, right click it, go over to properties, make your way up to installed files, and then press verify integrity of game files. What this is going to do is make sure there's no missing files, and if there is, it'll re-download it and place it back inside of your game folder. I happen to have a clean folder right here, which I always keep handy so I don't have to just re-download RDR2, but I'm going to make another copy real quick since we'll be modifying this one. You can keep multiple copies of RDR2, so if you want to play online, it's probably easiest just to have a fresh RDR2 copy, and anytime you want to go online, all you need to do is rename it back to its original name. So whichever one of these RDR2 just says Red Dead Redemption 2, that's going to be the folder that Steam recognizes when you hit that play button. So you can keep multiple instances of modded RDR2, and then a clean one just in case you want to do online gameplay. So since this is an older copy of RDR2, I'm going to make sure I re-verify these files just in case there was an update that I missed. So we're going to go into installed files and then verify the integrity. It may take a few minutes to verify the files. Once verification is complete, you may see this message, but don't worry, it will reacquire the files automatically. Now you should have a fresh install of RDR2. So we'll go back into this folder so we can go ahead and install some mods. We'll first download a program called WinRAR. This is what we're going to use to unzip our files when we download them, and this is a free program. If you prefer to use something else, go ahead. This is just my preferred method of modding, and it works. So we're going to press download on this blue button, and once you do so, it should bring you to another page. We're again going to press download on this blue button. Again, another page will pop up, and all you need to do is select where you want your file to download to, and then press save. You do not need to do anything on this page, just exit out of it. By default, your download should be in your downloads folder, so all you need to do is click on this win.exe file. Here, all you need to do is press install. You don't need to mess with any of these checkboxes, just press OK. And then once you press done, WinRAR will be installed. Now we'll go ahead and download ScriptHook for RDR2. This is definitely a requirement. A lot of RDR2 mods require the functions that ScriptHook has to offer, and without it, the mod simply won't work. This is the only ScriptHook I use because I know it works. But if you want to use the one on Nexus Mods, use it at your own discretion. So we'll go down to this little blue download link, and once you press it, you may be redirected to this page. That's fine. All you need to do is go up and press the ScriptHook RDR2. If you get an ad page, just exit out of it and then just redo the process. So we'll go back and press ScriptHook RDR2 again, and then we should be presented with the proper page. Go down to download and go ahead and click it, and you should see your download initiate. Now you should see your ScriptHook in your downloads folder. If it doesn't look like this, which is the WinRAR symbol, we're going to go ahead and right click it, go down to open with, and then you want to select WinRAR Archiver. If you don't see this option, go down to choose another app, and then from this drop down menu, you should be able to see WinRAR Archiver. Make sure it's selected, and then press always. Now all the mods that you download should have this symbol on it. So from here, you can do one of two things. What I like to do is double click it, which will open up the zip file. You'll be presented with an ad every time you do this, but this is a free program. Just press the X. That's it. From here, you'll be able to see the contents of the zip file. So what we're going to do is go into the bin folder, and we're going to take this dinput DLL file, as well as this ScriptHook RDR2.dll file. We do not want the native trainer.asi because we'll be installing another trainer later. So we're going to take these two files and drag it straight into our game root directory. Remember, our game root directory is the one with the RDR2.exe. So once you've done this, ScriptHook is now installed. Next, we'll be installing Lenny's Mod Loader. And if at any time your browser doesn't look like mine, or it looks like it's missing links and pictures and all that, make sure you use a different browser. The browser I use is Opera GX. So this browser is guaranteed to work, as well as Google Chrome. So on the Lenny's Mod Loader page, we're going to go over to download this file, which will pop up a bunch of files for you to download. We do not want to go with any of these older versions. We want to use the latest and greatest, which is LML RDR Beta 11. So we're going to go on over to the download, which you may be presented with an ad again. Just exit out of it, and then if you just wait a few seconds, your download will initiate. Now back in our downloads folder, the second way you can extract files is to right click it, go down to WinRAR, and then press extract files. This will bring up another window where you can direct where you want your files to unzip to. By default, it's going to be the same folder, downloads, so you're just going to press OK. You should see that you have a new folder, and it's going to be the same exact name as the LML RDR. So now you can click inside of this, and what we're going to do is take this mod manager folder, and we're going to drag it inside the game root directory. Now you don't have to put it in the game root directory, it's just easier to keep everything in one place. Next, we're going to go into this mod loader folder, and everything you see here, we are going to drag this all into the game root directory. You have now installed LML correctly. Now from here, we're going to go inside of this mod manager folder. In here, you should see the modmanager.ui.exe. Go ahead and double click this. This will bring up a mod manager, which will display all the LML mods that you install. The first thing we need to do to set this up is to select our game folder. So we'll go to these three little dots, and then we need to navigate to where our game is installed. If you do not know how to do this, again, go on Steam, right click RDR2, go over to manage, and then browse local files. The window that pops up is the address you need to put in there. So we'll go ahead and copy this, and then we'll go ahead and paste it into here. We'll press enter, and this will be the install path that it's looking for. We can go ahead and press select folder. Then all you have to do is press save. If done correctly, you'll see the welcome to Lenny's Mod Loader beta. So now we just need to install some mods. Now I know there is some Epic Games users, so in order to find your game file path, just go into your library. Under these three little dots, you're going to go over to manage, and then across from installation, you're going to see this folder. Once you click on that, your game root directory will open up, and this is the path that you'll copy and place. So now we'll exit our mod manager folder, and now we'll install our first LML mod. This one is called Online Content Unlocker. And if we go down to the mods that require this, you will see a bunch of mods that are dependent on this Online Content Unlocker. So we'll go into the Files tab, and then we'll go to Manual Download. You'll see another pop-up happen, and we'll just do download again. Once your download is complete, we'll go ahead and open up the zip file. We will exit out of the ad, and then you'll see an LML folder right here. And as you notice, we have an LML folder inside of our game directory too. Since we have this, we can just simply drag this all the way over into our game directory. So if you look inside of this LML folder, you'll see that Online Content Unlocker has been installed. Back in the zip file, if we open up this LML folder, Online Content Unlocker was in there. So installation was successful. Now we need to check to see if the mod manager is registering this. So we'll go back to the modmanager.exe, and then we'll go over to the mod section. You should see Online Content Unlocker in here. So if you see this, we are on the right track. We will now install our next mod, and it's going to be Rampage Trainer. Now you're free to install any trainer of choice, but this by far is the best trainer available. So again, we'll go over to the files. Under the main files, we'll just press manual download. We'll be prompted to download once again, and then once complete, we'll open up the zip file. We will close the ad and then open up this Rampage folder. Now every mod is going to have installation instructions, so always make sure you give that a read. And if the install isn't necessarily on the mod page, sometimes you'll find it in the post section, or sometimes the mod will include a readme like this. But in order to install Rampage Trainer, we're going to take both of these files and place it in the game root directory. Now notice that this is rampage.asi, and if you go back to our mod manager and check to see what mods are installed, you won't see Rampage Trainer pop up. And that's fine, because this is not an LML mod. Some mods rely on LML, and some mods just rely on ScriptHook, such as ASI files. Not every mod you install will go into this mod manager. Now we will quickly boot up the game to see if we install these things correctly. Your game should load up, and once you load into the game, you should be presented with a welcome screen from Rampage Trainer. This will tell you how to open the trainer and then navigate it. So we'll check to see if Rampage Trainer opens up, which it does spectacularly, and our game is running pretty smooth. So we're still on the right track. Now before we start downloading actual mods, this is a good time to get our settings in check. So we want to go down into the settings and we want to go into the graphics. Now under the video tab, this is all up to you. Whatever your PC can handle, go ahead and set it to that. Under the graphics, this is also all up to you. Whatever your PC can handle will fluctuate from user to user. The only thing that you need to adjust if you want to mod is under the advanced graphics. Your graphics API needs to say Vulkan. Mods do not work on DirectX 12 and there is no workaround around it. So if you get frequent crashes from Vulkan, you're going to need to see if you can adjust a few settings by lowering them or figure out your settings for your PC so you can optimize your performance. In order to use mods, you need to be on Vulkan. So once you change it over to this, make sure you apply those changes. So now we'll exit out of the game and install a few mods. The first mod we'll download is Rifle Holster, then we'll download Dog Companion, and then Realistic Weapon Audio Overhaul. So we'll go ahead and open the Rifle Holster. We'll of course close the ad and then go into this next folder. Here you'll see a bunch of different options, and if you take a look at the README, which you always need to do if you want to successfully mod, it'll tell you you can only use one of these at a time. So we'll choose the Rifle Holster RDR1 and we'll take this entire folder and place it into our LML folder. We placed it in here because we read the instructions. This is an LML mod. So if we go back into our mod manager folder and then open up the mod manager, we'll see that this Rifle Holster RDR1 is now inside of it. Our next mod is Dog Companion, and this one happens to be another .asi file, which usually means you just drag this directly into your game root folder. But of course, again, always refer to the installation or README text. For mods like this that give you a folder, sometimes you can configure some settings. So inside of this, you see a dog companions.ini file. If we go ahead and open this up, there's a bunch of different values we can change. So for instance, if we change this 0 into a 1, we can now make our dog invincible. You can also choose not to see the cores of your dogs if you wanted to. But anytime you make changes to a text file like this, make sure you go ahead and save the file as well before you close it out. Our last mod is going to be the Audio Overhaul. So we'll open up this initial folder and you see that we're presented with an LML folder. So of course, after reading the README, we're going to drag this folder directly into our games folder. And if we open up the LML, we can see that the Audio Overhaul has been installed. And then again in the mod manager, we verify that it is there as well. Now some mods require a specific load order, which you can do by adjusting these arrows, but usually if you read the mod page, it'll tell you if it's necessary or not. Now we're also going to install a few other mods because these ones can be tricky for some people. So we're going to open up the Shut Up Dog zip file, which works well with the Dog's Companion mod because your dog won't be barking all the time. And as you can see, if you read the instructions, we need to place this in the LML folder and replace file. So if we go inside of our LML folder, you'll see that we don't have a replace folder. No worries, we will create one. So I right clicked, went over to new and then to the folder. And you need to name this exactly replace. Otherwise the game's not going to register it. Now that we have the replace folder, we're going to go over to audio and then simply just drag it inside of it. And if we click inside of this, we'll see that we successfully installed it. Now this next mod is a clothing mod. So we'll go ahead and open up the zip file. And since this is an LML file, all you need to do is simply drag it into your game root directory. If you go ahead and open up that LML, you won't see anything that says Punisher Attire. Instead, you'll see this new stream folder. If you're installing pieces of clothing, chances are it's going to be a stream file. So if you open up this folder, you'll see a whole bunch of player zeros. This is basically what clothing files will look like. You're basically telling the game, this piece of clothing is going to be replaced with this. So now that we have some mods installed, we'll go ahead and boot up the game again. Now you should be able to load into the game, and immediately we see that our Punisher's Attire mod is working. So our stream folder is doing its job. We'll go ahead and test to see if the Dog Companion mod is working. So in order to get a dog companion, you praise it and then you go ahead and pat it. And then after that, you have the chance to bond with it. Once you've done that, the dog is now your best friend. This man will follow you to the end of the earth. Now we'll go into the Rampage Trainer real quick so we can turn off Never Wanted. So we can test the realistic audio sounds. The gun sounds are sounding nice and crispy, so is the rifle. And then if we sling our rifle, we'll see that our rifle holster mod is working as well. Hopefully now you have your own modded version of Red Dead Redemption 2 for that new Christmas PC. If it did end up working for you, consider dropping a like and subscribe. We have plenty of mod showcases and guides that are up and coming, and I definitely hate for you to miss out. Until next time though, we'll see ya.